Does a hiring boom at one New York office building signal good times ahead for the jobs market? 4 rising technology companies share an address and a help wanted sign. And the jobs aren't all for computer geeks either. Proof that we are living in a startup nation. More than 100 jobs are open at 568 Broadway, at urban site Thrillist, social network Foursquare, software developer Tengen, and physician search and appointment making site ZocDoc.
I would hire 100 people tomorrow if I could find the right people. Right now we're in 16 cities. I'll need more salespeople in other cities. We're also looking for teachers. I'm looking for lawyers, accountants. I'm looking for photographers across the country. There's so many jobs available.
I went to school for literature and theater, and I came to New York to get discovered. What I'm bringing from my creative background is an understanding of how human beings work. We're training doctors every single day. We're integrating their technology with our technology.
Thrillist is a men's lifestyle media company. We've put on about 100 people this year. It's at a rate of about 2 a week. I think we've actually accelerated a little bit. I'm looking for someone who really has a passion for the product. My city editor is a very diverse bunch of people. Some of them have backgrounds in journalism, some of them were paralegals.
I used to work at Lehman Brothers. I always felt when I was on Wall Street like everyone used to talk about the good old days and the best days were behind them. I wanted to be in an industry where people were more optimistic and they were talking about the future.
And joining me now are the founders and CEOs of ZocDoc, Cyrus Masumi, and Thrillist.com, Ben Lehrer, neighbors at 568 Broadway. And gentlemen, it's great to have you on the program.
Thanks for having us.
How much vibrancy? Cyrus, tell us about what's going on here in terms of ZocDoc, your plans for expansion.
So we help people find and book doctor's appointments instantly online. So patients can come to our site, type in their insurance, tell us what kind of doctor they need, where they're looking for one, and they can book a doctor.
And then you can actually book it and get on his schedule right there.
Absolutely. So you can do it 24/7, 365 days a year. So when the doctor's office is closed, you can still get access to health care.
And you started the firm. How did you do that?
Well, we started 4.5 years ago just in New York, and we spent 2.5 years perfecting what we do in New York City, and we were in the midst of a nationwide expansion. So we're trying to hire in a number of cities all over the country, and perhaps even outside the U.S. soon.
Ben, let me ask you about that. 21 city editions, over 3 million subscribers. How is your staff keeping up with the company's growth in your content and your commerce business? And then I want to hear your story, how you started the business.
Yeah, well, it's tough. Hiring is definitely the #1 priority right now. We're growing in so many different areas. On Thrillist and then on the Jack Thread side, which is our commerce business. And it's fun, but it's pretty overwhelming.
How did you start the business?
Started it really out of a need. Similar to Cyrus, we were living in New York City, reading pretty crappy city guides, we thought, and wanted to sort of bridge the gap between the men's magazines that we grew up reading, the GQs and the Esquires, and the local city guides, the Yelps and the Zagat's, and felt that having a city guide that spoke our language was a need, and my mother and I shouldn't read the same city guide.
So that's funny, and your grandmother.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So you're both in hiring mode. What kind of people are you looking for? Cyrus, what's the person that you want to hire? Tell me about them. What stands out?
Well, you know, we have a word in our company that we use, which is humbition. We like really humble and nice people who are also very ambitious. They tend to work really well with our culture. Right now, one of the major roles we need to hire is for our operations team. And these are the team that interfaces with doctors and with patients. And we've had such a great success finding people with such diverse backgrounds. We have opera singers, actors, people who were literally working in grocery stores before that have all come, and they're just very consumer-oriented. They're very friendly folks, and we have an insatiable appetite to hire a number of them. So we're really needing more people on that team. You know,
I guess I'm trying to figure out what is behind all this vibrancy, and I guess you have to believe mobility is one of them, right? That's sort of the underlying trend that we're all seeing so many implications of. So this week we saw Instagram announce that it was being acquired by Facebook, $1 billion deal. How does that excitement impact plans for mobility? Talk to me about how important mobility is.
Well, I think it's more important than people even know right now. I mean, you know, $1 billion for Instagram's great, but what it really represents is the fact that mobile is here. You can't think about mobile as a separate way to build or as sort of a separate product, but everything you do has to be mobile.
Yeah, I have a funny story, which is obviously we're helping people book doctor's appointments over the internet, and we rolled out our first mobile application a couple of years ago. And recently we got a note from a patient who said that they were so excited that ZocDoc came to her iPhone because she was sitting in bed sick, and she didn't know what she didn't want to have to get out of bed to go use her computer to book her doctor's appointment. And the fact that she could use her phone to make a doctor's appointment, genius. Which, you think about it, 5 years ago, people were, of course, using the phone to do lots of things. Just they were talking instead of using the application. So I agree completely. It's absolutely here to stay, and it's going to be the majority of what we do in relation to the internet in the future.
Let me ask you about some of the investors and sort of what's the end game for you. Cyrus first. ZocDoc has some pretty good bold-faced names in terms of investors. You've got Jeff Bezos, Sun Microsystems, Vinod Khosla, Peter Thiel, major investor in Facebook. What are the plans to go public?
Well, first off, I never got Ben Lear, so I didn't get every major. I never got every major investor, but we are just putting our heads down and trying to expand nationwide. We're in 16 markets right now. We have the rest of the country to go through, and really we need salespeople all over the country. We're hiring so aggressively, and so to take attention away from that is really a distraction for our team right now. So we're not really focused on that at all.
And venture capital is there. Venture capital is looking for opportunities and pouring money in. More than $200 million in VC has been raised by just the tenants in your building, which I think is really funny. Why do you think we're seeing this kind of money flow moving into technology right now, Ben?
Well, I think the space in general is it couldn't be hotter. I mean, if you think 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when really smart, talented people left, undergrad or business school, they wanted to go to Wall Street.
Right. They wanted to go to Goldman Sachs. They wanted to go to McKinsey.
They don't want to do that anymore. Now they want to go and be Mark Zuckerberg. So do I. And, people are going, and there's an incredible amount of talent coming. There's still so many categories and areas that are not yet disrupted by the internet, and everything is going to be disrupted. So if it hasn't yet, it's coming. Really cool stuff. Cyrus, Mr. Good to have you on the program. Ben Lehrer, thank you so much. Thank you. Congrats and best of luck, gentlemen. We'll see you soon. Up next on the Wall Street Journal.